Shame we're going to have a buzz on the recording, but we can still hear everybody.
These are unhealthy coping strategies that empaths do. So by me reading these, they try to think of doing the opposite, obviously. Some of these we can't control. The first one is hypervigilance. And that comes from feeling responsible for other people's inner state. So, caring about others more than yourself. Hypervigilance is awful. I don't know if any of you, or I know you mentioned it, but if anyone else has gone through it, it's the worst. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was debilitating. It was horrible. It was bad.
I'm in fight or flight 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Me too.
And then you startle, you jump, and
Really,
I can't regulate body temperature. I can't, I have a hard time smelling and tasting things. It's just insane. I don't sleep for days. It's torture.
I'm all right till I get a bad smell. I can smell and taste fine. If I get a bad smell, it stays with me and it haunts me. I keep smelling it again. It's like...
See, I can't. Everything smells like dirty bowling shoes to me. Can you imagine trying to eat something that smells like that? It's horrible. What?
Damn. Is that from COVID? When you had COVID?
No. It is from my hypervigilance. I got it right after I got out of the psych hospital. I've had it in the past years ago, and I didn't know what it was, so I self-medicated, and I didn't feel it for a while. And then this past trip to the psych hospital in June, when I left, it came back. And it came back full force. Never had COVID at that time. And I don't know how many months, and I just got COVID, a month ago or so. And so it wasn't from COVID, but I had it since last June, continuously. And it's just starting to ease.
I don't like, there's a lot of perfumes I don't like, if my girlfriend puts perfume on, it's not cheap stuff either. It's like £100 a bottle. She'll put it on and I'm like, oh God, what's it for? You know what I mean? It's like, oh no, man. It's terrible.
See, no, I can't smell the difference with anything.
I didn't know. I bought it for her. I just knew it was her favourite, so I bought it, and then at first it was
you bought it, so you're encouraging her. You're encouraging her to wear it.
Oh, that smells horrible. Yeah, she'll love it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Brett?
Yeah.
I want to ask, does anyone have super sensitive hearing?
Pretty, yeah.
Well,
I can't do it.
I'm deaf in one ear. Mm-hmm. I'm deaf in my left ear, but my right ear, oh my God, I can hear a pin drop. And it's my boyfriend won't put away the dishes from the dishwasher if I'm in the room because the clinging of the plates.
Oh man,
they sound so loud and piercing to my eardrums. It's crazy.
Yeah, do you hear sounds that are not there? I got woken up twice in the last 4 or 5 days, right, with somebody coming up my stairs. There's no one coming up. My stairs I've got a door at the bottom of my stairs. There's locks. Nobody's coming up the stairs. I don't know it. I'll wake up and I can hear someone coming up, and I'm like, oh man, I got to, deal with this. Mm-hmm. I get up in fight or flight, ready to give someone a clamp, or more likely get a clamp. Right, so twice this week. I get out a lot of times.
I sit up at night when I wake up about 2 and 3 in the morning. I just sit there vaping, and I can hear the leaves on the trees.
Yeah,
I can hear the minimal sound. I can hear my heart beating. I can hear myself breathing.
Wow.
It's like, and in the daytime,
I can't hear.
or if the phone goes, I jump out my skin when the phone rings.
Yeah, same here.
It's really bad. How can we alleviate that?
It's a lot of work. Self-care, boundaries, like the trauma therapy, obvious, or it would be it, but if that's not an option, I have worksheets to help. It pretty much you have to learn how to rewire your brain. And what
is it grounding? You know, when that grounding where you do 5,
grounding?
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's very helpful. Yeah.
Is it? Have you got any worksheets or anything you could email me on, please?
Yes. Wait, of course. What do you want? Do you want me just to send you a bunch that you can work on to heal
Whatever's easiest for you.
I can send you a bunch.
Yeah.
And they're from like legit websites like the Mental Health Association, and so they're not like from Wikipedia or like some not official site. Okay, I will send you.
The 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. Yeah, I've posted that in the group a few times. I put it on the YouTube channel. It's definitely out there. I've got it.
I'll have a look, Brett. Yeah, on that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. Hang on.
Yeah, and my therapist told me that, like, for an example of a thing you can do is when you're like let's just say you're washing dishes, when you're doing it, pay attention to what does the temperature of the water feel like? Does the water feel warm, cold? How long, like think of like how many dishes you have, or like just distracting your mind and like thinking about other things is just a way to calm yourself. I think that's more in like a panic situation, or like when you're having really bad hypervigilance or anxiety, that those are ways to like ease it. And grounding is one too. We should do that as a topic too one time, is grounding. I have so many topics. Brett, I told you like 100 the other day. Yeah, I can send you worksheets and I'll explain like what the worksheets are, like the purpose of doing them, like what are you going to benefit out of them. And it's up to you if you want to do them or not. And I don't, to send you a bunch.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, I have so much information. I have books like for every topic of any of the topics we have. I have a list of books. I have apps. I have mental health apps, and I can share. I have tons, and I've been doing a lot of research in these short amount of months. So I'm trying to educate myself so I can, pass on information to hopefully help you guys too.
But now, Stacy, you were saying something earlier about healing empath. There's like 10 things. What are those 10?
I don't remember which one is on, but it's funny that you just asked that, because I just found another article, and it's called 7 Strategies for Empaths to Heal Trauma and PTSD. But like I said before, a lot of this can relate to all the other mental health conditions, illnesses. And I will read what they say. So these are things that you should try to work on. The first one is emotional release, and it says, as you heal, many emotions will surface: anger, fear, depression, self-doubt. So it says, let yourself feel and express these emotions. A supportive therapist can create a safe environment for you to do this. Or if you feel comfortable with friends and peers, we could work on it here too, things to work on. because that's something I do. I still have a very hard time expressing my feelings. I don't know how it feels to really get angry. And when I'm sad, I laugh, and it's just, I can't regulate my emotions still yet. The next one is, I mentioned earlier, is boundaries. Boundaries will help you with many, many, many things. I didn't realize that this was like my biggest issue I needed to focus on was boundaries. And once I did, it changed like everything, my stress, my hypervigilance, my everything. And I don't know if everyone's familiar with boundaries, but boundaries are just based, and empaths are probably not very good at boundaries because they care about others. And boundaries, you need to stick up for yourself. Figure out what you like, what you don't like from others. And if they and you tell them and they disrespect those boundaries, then they're not a true, genuine friend or whatever, a relationship, whatever. But you need to make sure everyone knows your boundaries. Or like how I set this call up, I told you guys what I wanted to avoid, and gave you rules. Those were my boundaries just for this group, and that just right there, even though it doesn't sound like much, is much, because I had no boundaries before at all, So it does do wonders once you figure out what boundaries you need.
I found that for me, I've had some boundaries where I've had to be confrontational to a degree, but some of the easiest boundaries I started putting in place from scratch were just basically like not answering the phone to people, or pick up the phone and like you're really, really busy. You know what I mean? So, mate, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, a bit busy at the moment, dude. I'll call you back later. Or try me tomorrow. I've got a lot on. Blah blah. See you later. I know that, and just keep being busy or being not well enough. And that's just a boundary. And people start to be surprised. People start to back off from that. They don't like it. They call you and you're busy. Yeah. Or they call you and you're not well. You know what I mean? A lot of people will back off. I know there's plenty of nutters out there who just won't say no for an answer. I know that. But I haven't had that problem myself, But I've had other boundaries where I've had to argue it out. But mostly that was the beginning of it. Is just stop taking calls and stuff, you know what I mean? Stop staying on the phone with people and stuff.
Yeah, I started just voicing that, I'm healing from my mental health, and the thing that I want and need and what I'm going to focus on is my stress level. I'm going to avoid stressors. So if you come to me and bring up a stressful topic or involve me in a stressful situation, you're crossing my boundary, and I do not want to communicate with you, if you can't respect my boundaries. And I have done it. And actually, I felt so good afterwards, because I've never sat down. I've never.
You feel like you're taking control of your life again. And it does give you a certain self-esteem. It helps you out. And we all have in our lives anyway. We've got clearing up. We live on our own half the time. We've got to look after our place. Some people have got kids, and plus we're ill, and we don't always. There's enough reasons to be able to tell somebody you can't talk to them right now. So when you start cultivating that, and that starts happening, all of a sudden you feel disentangled from it, and you feel free, and it helps your self-esteem. You feel like, hang on a minute, I've just took charge of things. That's just an easy one. That's an easy one you can do. Bernadine.
Yeah, I found that I've been doing that, and I know who my real friends are. Because the friends that have loads of shit with me all the time, without giving me anything back in the friendship, I found that I've lost them, and I'm glad.
Yeah.
I just recently got a best friend because she wouldn't respect my boundaries. sucked, but I feel more empowered, or like I feel like I have a voice, or my voice matters.
I'm still friendly and polite about it. I'm just like, I did it from it gives me a nightmare, it always gives me a hard time, brings up loads of things from the past, tries to make me feel bad and all that.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So like the last time she contacted me, she thought she could have a little joke and be friends after that. And I'm like, yeah. I've got to go now. See you later. And you know what I mean? And after like one or two of those, now she doesn't bother. And I feel so set free. I feel really set free from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? Yeah.
And I've got a bit of a grip on my life again. And it does make your self-esteem go up. You start to realise, hang on, I count. I matter.
Yeah, like I'm valid. My opinions are valid.
Yeah.
Like I've always never was sure that my opinions were valid. Like I was always confused. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
It does feel good. Like it works, but it's hard, and everything takes work. Like you have to be willing to work towards everything to be able to heal some of the other symptoms and stuff.
Yeah, man. Now recently started saying no. And something.
Boundaries are huge. Yeah.
And that's not so easy, because then they say no.
No.
So that's a bit of a, you know what I mean? But it still moves us away from where we were.
Right? Yeah. Like when the father of my children, my ex, he's textbook narcissist. So for me, I would I'm like the freeze and the fight, flight, or freeze or fawn, whatever. I don't know if I'm freeze or fawn, but anyways, whenever a conflict would arise and he would speak, his mind, and I would just clam up and have nothing to say and like let him just win the conversation and just keep the peace and just agree. And I recently just started talking back to him and saying like, no, like saying what I wanted. And even though of course he doesn't care and he's not listening, but it felt better. It felt so good to actually stand up for myself and, just prove that I'm not going to be the doormat that I've always been, or, just feels empowering. Yeah. It's great. Yeah.
Someone close to me said, "Oh, do you think you could fix that thing for us out there, in the garden, like, because I really want to get it done like before spring." And I was like, "Oh man, I feel tired. I feel cold." I didn't start saying all that, but that's how I felt. And I thought, and I just said,
"Did you do it anyways, or no?" No,
I didn't. For the first time, I didn't. I said, "Do you know what? I'm too bloody cold." I said, I just can't be doing it right now, right? And that was it. But the horrible part was later on when I asked for something, the answer was no as well. So I just had to live with that one.
Right.
It's still new ground. It's still new ground, and we're still close, amazingly, right?
That's good.
But it still feels free, right? It feels good. It's free independence, isn't it? It's free to, be you.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I heard someone say a long time ago that just because you disagree with somebody on something, it doesn't mean you disagree with everything about them. It's just certain things. It's okay to say no sometimes, Yeah,
and everyone's
not right now.
Opinions are valid.
Yeah.
Everyone. No one's opinions are wrong. Like, everyone's right. So, And
if I had said yes, just because I'm frightened of her saying no about something later, it's like, then I feel like I'm buying whatever it is I want later. I'm bartering now. Right?
Yeah.
Right? And that's not right either. Right?
Right.
If I'm doing something that I don't want to do so that she'll do something she doesn't want to do, it's like, do you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know quite how to describe it, but you kind of, and I'm thinking, well, if she doesn't want to do whatever it is that I want her to do, if she don't want to do it, I don't want her to bloody do it.
Right.
Even if I do want her to do it, you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks so much for listening to our podcasts. Please like and subscribe for new content as it comes out.
The links to support groups are in the descriptions under all of our uploads. We have regular live group chats and support each other, and we can vent when we need to. And please remember, practice setting boundaries, using grounding techniques, and know that self-care is not selfish.